It seems Cartoon Network has become a breeding ground for some of the most talented animation showrunners on television, whether for the channel or even other networks, as Gravity Falls creator Alex Hirsch got his start there. One of the recent examples of an excellent series to come out of Cartoon Network's current model is Steven Universe. Created by Rebecca Sugar, who is one of the top storyboard artists on Adventure Time, this is a highly imaginative and quite lovely show with a touch of a Studio Ghibli influence. Like Adventure Time, it continues to build a world and its characters to become something truly special, and has really pushed the envelope in what can be explored in an animated family show. The premise of the series already starts with a lot of potential, which Sugar delivers. We basically follow Steven Universe as he learns how to use his crystal gem powers inherited from his mother, who sacrificed herself so he could be born, which already showcases that we're going to be in for an emotional experience. One of the best elements of the series is how secrets are slowly peeled away regarding the 3 crystal gems who serve as Steven's guardians and mentors. And if you've never seen Steven Universe, I won't dare spoil those revelations for you and ruin the experience of discovering them for yourself. Some of the best writing comes via the interaction between the crystal gems and their opposing personalities. However, while they do fit into specific archetypes, Pearl, Garnet, and Amethyst manage to be fully 3-dimensional characters with a lot of personality and layers. Amethyst is my favorite character on the show, mainly due to her freewheeling, devil-may-care attitude, but there's a lot of heartbreak underneath her, which is why we get the occasional friction between her and the other gems. One of my favorite elements of the series comes from the power of fusing that the crystal gems have, where more than one can combine to become a single form. What's fascinating is how each one is different from one another, and it's unpredictable what happens when 2 gems fuse. While Amethyst and Pearl surprisingly fuse to create a peaceful being, albeit one with nonetheless strong fighting skills, Garnet and Amethyst fusion, in one of my favorite episodes, Coach Steven, is more violent and has an almost bad undercurrent. So in some cases, 2 rights do necessarily make a wrong. One episode that got a lot of attention for its fusion was Alone Together, another one of my favorites. When Steven and his best friend Connie fuse, we get somebody whose gender is clearly female. Or is she? Rather than just being a combination of 2 characters, they actually become a new form with its own distinct personality, and that raises the question, is this the first hermaphrodite to be featured on a family show, on a major network? Whatever your interpretation, it's a touching episode that nicely shows the sweet bond between Steven and Bonnie. Similarly, one recent episode hinted at 2 gems sharing a lesbian relationship. So I ask again, is Rebecca Sugar pushing the envelope and showing how the world is ever-changing and what can be shown in family programming? Or is this just a case of looking too deeply? Surprisingly, I have not delved into Steven yet, but he's a likable character with a lot of personality to boot. He's got an optimistic spirit, and when he makes a mistake, he learns it and takes it with him in the next episode. While the crystal gems are more powerful, there are plenty of stories where he ends up saving the day. There are also emotional episodes that touch on his father's relationship with Steven's mother, and we get a sense of how their good qualities merge to create Steven. Another element I admire about the series is the look of it. I mentioned the Studio Ghibli influence earlier, but the world is almost reminiscent of a video game from the 1980s. The look, the character designs, the sound effects, and the music feel like they would fit right at home there. The various settings are oh so nicely handled. Steven Universe is mostly set on a beachside boardwalk, and that actually gives the series a mostly serene vibe. I especially like that it makes time to focus on the various establishments situated there. And of course, the various magical realms visited by the gems fall into a variety of categories, with none feeling repetitive from previous adventures. I have to give a lot of kudos to the production design team, including Steven Sugar, who actually served as the inspiration for the title character, as they've done a remarkable job of putting together these beautiful lands that the crystal gems visit. Steven Universe is of course still ongoing, with 50 episodes having aired so far, with more to come. Rebecca Sugar has created something very special, and could be considered a game changer in what can be depicted in animated family shows. It's been said a lot about shows managing to convey ideas and themes that maybe weren't possible decades ago, but Steven Universe truly does fall into that category. Whether it's Steven or any of the crystal gems you latch onto, there's a lot to appreciate here. And while comparisons to Adventure Time will certainly be made, It manages to stand out and become one of the most unique television shows to find its way to not just Cartoon Network, but any airwaves. And I certainly look forward how the team behind it will develop these worlds and characters for many years to come. See you next time.